Our friends from LOM Financial here in the Cayman Islands join us once a month for Wealth Wednesday to give you some advice on wealth management and planning for your future. We talked to Joel Bodden and Cohen from LOM Financial, who gave us some advice and pointers about teaching your kids how to invest.
Investing in the next generation is obviously pivotal. And the earlier you start, some people call it financial literacy, education, however you want to phrase it, the earlier you start, the better. And I think especially for children, that nothing can beat leading by example. So lots of people come to us and they say, I want to look at my children, I want to start investing for them. Or I know obviously costs have gone up for college fees now. They've tripled since I went to school those years ago. So these are sorts of the inquiries that we get. So with all that in mind, what you can do is you can start a portfolio for your child. It'll be basically a sub-account of an individual's account, let's say.
Okay.
So there's no change in beneficial ownership, but what it allows you to do is to build up these sub-accounts over a long period of time, 10, 20 years, however it is. 20 years is an interesting number.
Right.
Why? Because they finish school, they go to college, first car, first house. Our parents were doing all that when they were 20 years old. Now you've got people living at home to their 30s. This generation that are about to, start having children and whatnot, they really need to start looking at and looking at what you went through as an individual, the challenges you faced, and start preparing for the future. It all comes into education for children. And it's not just a case of just investing for them. They'd just be, you have this pot, this is going to be for you one day. It's no, you're going to listen to these seminars, you're going to read these insight pages, which we release website every week. Mm-hmm. So we produce some research on the market, market overview.
That's great.
These radio sessions are on our website, on our insights page.
Right. It's
all tools that people should use. And it's digestible stuff, Doug. So children can go on to our website and actually start looking at this. And I think the earlier you start, the much better, really.
Now, let's say parents have X amount of dollars they want to put in the pot and let it sit for a while. You brought up a couple of real interesting examples of how to really grow some money.
Yeah, I mean, look, the power of compounding, and people don't even know what that means. So let me give you a real-life example right here. If you put $25,000 into the market over a 20-year, let's presume the market returns 7% annualized over that period. So your initial investment is $25,000. You put $25,000 to work, 7% annualized for 20 years, about $100,000. That is what your portfolio...
Put the money in and just let it sit.
If you put the money in, let's say over a 20-year period, historically, that is roughly what you're going to get. Historically.
Okay.
We don't know what's going to happen in the future, but let's presume history repeats itself, and it does tend to.
So now you're 20 years later, and you got $100,000 sitting there.
Right. But let's take that a step further. Okay, I talked about compounding a minute ago. If you did exactly the same thing, $25,000 over 20 years, annualizing 7%, okay, but you took a step further and you put in small amount each month, $250, for example, each month for 20 years. Your overall investment was $100,000 at the end of that 20-year period. Now it's moved up to over $230,000.
Wow.
Just by topping up $250 each month.
Shaving off a little on your check every month.
A little bit of the check, and it adds up over time, and the market returns add up over time to compound, and you get a much, much larger return. Property prices, huge. You're going to need $100,000 for your deposit potentially. The banks want 20%. You got stamp duty. You got all these other commissions to pay, etc. Then you got to consider strata fees, and then a fee of fees, as I like to call it. There's always a fee of fees.
Fee on fees.
The fee on fees. So that takes up a huge amount. Cars are going to be expensive. They're in my mind because this is what I do, and I just have hundreds of these questions where people are asking and bringing these sorts of things up.
But having $230,000, Lewis, after that 20 years,
it pays for a heck of a lot, Doug.
100%.
So if you've finished university, you've got this fund, this sub account that you're now. Your parents have given you access to, put you on as a beneficiary on the account. That is going to give a huge step up in life to start with, right? It takes out lots of the fee. You even pay off some of your university fees, right? Let alone a house and a car.
Right.
Just about getting kids the right start in life. So if you can afford to start small, $25,000, right? And top up every month, $250 over a 20-year period, the time that your children start, wanting to move out the house or whatever. You get rid of your kids faster, Doug.
Right.
People slamming on their brakes listening on the road today. Getting rid of kids faster? No way. That is the sort of thing of which can make a big difference. and it's giving the next generation the best start in life. At general consultation, we will take people through. We'll say to them, look, you don't want to do this because you'll over leverage yourself on the basis of your financials and what you've told me, okay?
Right.
So it's not about, chucking money in, just putting as much as you can in. You got to, and Joel said this many times on radio before, it's about having your backup pot. But this is what we do in the consultation. Work out your expenditure on a monthly basis, figure out what your savings are and what your investable capital is and what you're going to need for rainy days, all these different things. And we advise on that. We take people through on it.
Great.
But it's really important people start thinking about this now, because the earlier you start, the better. It's never too late to start,
right,
but the earlier does make a huge difference. It really is for anyone. It's on our website, LOM.com. You go on our insights page.
Good stuff.
We put the radio segments on there. We put market overviews there. There's a whole bunch of educational material that you can read on there that we do, and we update it weekly as well, or sub-weekly. So you can go on there and just have a little read and learn.
We were just talking about having that reserve pot, and we'll get to that coming up next in our next segment on LOM's Wealth Wednesday. We serve it up at the final Wednesday every single month here with K-Man's Greatest Hits. More coming up on Gold. It's K-Man's Greatest Hits. It's Gold. Hi, it's Dr. Doug. Our friends from LOM Financial join us once a month for LOM's Wealth Wednesday. A super smart young K-Manian, Joel Bodden, who works for LOM Financial, joining me this morning. Good morning.
Hey, morning, Doug. Thanks for having me. I'm doing great, man. Thanks.
Sorry,
Thanks.
I did not bring the Red Bull this morning, and next time I will. I'm going to bring a big cooler of it, and we'll all get down with some Red Bull first.
It's all good, man. I got enough for the morning.
Sometimes there's things that happen in life that you can't prepare for. There's curveballs that happen. Life happens. Stuff happens. Tragedies happen. Not to sound too dark, but things kind of hit us from left field sometimes. And being prepared. Tell us a little bit about the importance of being able to save kind of a little reserve pot, and how long should people have in their reserve pot as far as to cover them, things that happen out of the blue?
Yeah, certainly, Doug. So, from my professional advice and personal experience, I like to give people, a number between 3 to 6 months to have that reserve for your monthly expenses. So essentially, you want to go back and think like a bank. You want to start thinking like a bank. Banks have balance sheets. They have segregated accounts for certain different things, right? So for you as an individual, you want to have your portfolio designed in that same manner. So in terms of having an emergency fund, we could allocate 3 to 6 months of, like I said, your monthly expenses into per se our money market, which is, yielding 4+%. But that also offers daily liquidity and ease of access. So it's essentially the equivalent to a bank account, and on top of that, it is secured. A lot of the population, especially here in the Cayman Islands, that I speak to people on a daily basis, and a lot of it is the unknown. So we put our money in our bank accounts, and that's yielding, I don't know what your bank's giving you, but 0.01. But what I can say is our money market is currently yielding 4+%, depending on market conditions. The perks to that, as I mentioned, having a bank account in most situations, it's not government backed. So God forbid anything happen to a particular...
And you hear about that all the time now,
exactly,
right?
With, the SVB crisis and whatnot. So that's one of the perks of having a portfolio and those funds into a money market versus a regular savings account.
Is this something that you could be able to access this money that you put in?
Give us a call, come on in, let's have a consultation, and through that, we can, identify where you should be in terms of asset allocation, and then we can advise better on sort of that, monthly expenditure and how we can get you there if you're not. Because a lot of people aren't, right? People may not have, that 6-month reserve sitting around at a bank account. So if you're shy of that, we can certainly assist with that. Once you build up that reserve, we can start to get more creative in terms of asset allocation again. So we can put a portion of that money to work at a higher yielding percentage, so 7, 8, maybe 9%. All depends on the market. So we can certainly get creative. We try to look at the big picture, the holistic approach. Mm-hmm. Everyone has things going on in life. Everyone is unique, in my opinion. And what is very exciting about a portfolio is that it's your unique basket of assets. So you can set that up how you feel best and let that work for you. So you can give us a call at 233-0100, or you can reach out at LOM.com. But just pick up the phone. It's the quickest way, in my opinion, and then we can set up a meeting and go from there.
And it's free. You guys are in Command Bay, the best in the business. Joel Bodden with us, with our good friend Louis Cohen as well. LOM Financial. We got our Wealth Wednesday every single last Wednesday of the month. I want to hear about the wine tasting event that they had and other great stuff that's happening with LOM Financial. Our Wealth Wednesday continues next. K-Man's greatest hits, it's gold every month. We team up with LOM, Wealth Management, and of course at Command Bay. It's our Wealth Wednesday. Louis Cohen joining me live. How do the gold listeners get in touch with you and schedule a free consultation and talk about their wealth management?
Yeah, good morning, Doug. You can get hold of us on 233-0100. That's our local number.
Okay.
You can go on our website, lom.com. We have a contact us page there. Or you can drop into Command Bay. We're here in Cayman, Command Bay. Come stop by our office. Consultations are free.
Money markets. Tell us about and give me a layman's terms, money markets and the advantages of money markets here in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, money market fund. Well, general characteristics would be daily liquidity, so no lockup, no minimum contributions. Point of a money market is that it's liquid and you're not penalized for liquidity. It's meant to provide liquidity. It's meant to be capital preservation fund, okay? So you're talking treasuries, short-term, 30, 60, 90-day treasuries, some corporate paper as well.
Yep.
Strong credit rating. That means it's safe and secure. Typically speaking, a money market you'll see have a double A minus or double A rate, average credit rating of the holdings. Okay. And you're seeing money markets pay around 4.5% net of fees.
Wow.
So after fees, around 4.5% net. So that's attractive. And, you compare it to, let's say, a term deposit.
Do you recommend those often, the money market? Because it sounds like there's a lot of upside on those.
Well, look, 4.5% is what it's currently paying, what money markets we're seeing are currently paying. That's subject to movements in rates. So when the Fed increase or cut rates and treasuries move, the percentage it's paying will adjust.
Yeah.
But it's a tool to park. It's a way to park cash over, let's say, a 6 to 12 month period, so you can start earning something on your money. Typically speaking, money market funds have no lockup, no minimum contribution, no penalties for withdrawing. Money market funds tend to be paying a lot more, and it's the liquidity which lots of people do like, and that's what we're seeing.
Being able to access that. You're exactly right. Your first social event, your wine tasting event over at Grand Old House, how did it go? I know it's the first of many. I love it. You guys are going to be very active out in the community, huh?
From what I can remember.
Yes, sir.
No, it was a very, very good evening. It was well received. We're going to try and do some more of these as the year goes on. Educational seminars as well. So we like to try and be informative and give people action points in our seminars. But we're doing a lot more of these as the year goes on. And Doug, you might not know this, but as a firm, we have a commitment to ocean preservation. Yeah, we've supported numerous local foundations, and we're going to continue to do that. So, beach cleanups I see in the horizon. So
well, let us know how we can promote that. We'll get more hands on deck to be able to clean up some of these beaches. I think it's fabulous how you guys are deeply involved in the community. Hey, tell us about the new LOM app. From what I hear, it is next level. It's kind of cool. And is it live right now?
It's live now. It's on iOS, so that's your Apple Store, App Store, and it's on Android as well. It's Face ID, so you load up the app, Face ID, you log in straight away. You don't get sent an email or anything else. Some apps take 5 minutes to log into. You're in your app within 5 seconds of looking at your phone.
From facial recognition.
Yeah, it's typical Face ID tech. They're in all the apps these days. Super easy to get into. So your holdings, your past transactions, you can generate statements and email them to yourself straight away. You can check charts out of your favorite stock. And we have much, much, much more coming online. This is just phase one. There will be other features. Trading functionality will eventually be brought online for that as well. At the minute, it's view only. But it just makes things so much easier to check your portfolio. That, or you can call us, or both, right?
Yeah.
Pull up your app, check your holdings, give your advisor a call, me, Joel, give your advisor a call, and we take you through it then and there, okay?
Awesome.
On-the-go access. It's a great little app.
Man.
And there's a lot more to come from it.
I'm telling you, very impressive what's happening with LOM. Hey, in our last 30 seconds, Mr. Joel Bodden, what would you like to say to the gold listeners from LOM?
Yeah, I just want to say folks should remain proactive and diversified with essentially everything in life, but more importantly with investing. And we do have hurricane season coming up, so I'm going to pass this mic over to Louis, and he can advise you on a few supplies.
Well, I don't think I offer, I like to think I offer pretty good financial advice, but I don't know if I should be advising people on hurricane season, Doug.
Right. I'll tell you that I ate my baked beans out of my hurricane kit last week. So
I like the Heinz ones with the sausages
right,
in.
exactly.
You got to have them cold as well.
Ice cold.
But you know what? I've actually got a tip. I can give you a quick tip.
Yeah, go for it.
Bottles of water, okay? Get loads of bottles of water in the days leading up, put them in the freezer. When the power goes out, take them out the freezer, put them in the fridge. Keep your fridge cooler for much longer. When it melts, take it out, drink the water.
This is from a guy that probably has not been through a hurricane yet in the Cayman Islands, has he?
Not a proper hurricane, but as you can see, we are well prepared.
Very prepared. Smart. LOM Financial, much love, my friends. Joel Bodden and Lewis Cohen, the one and only LOM Financial on our Wealth Wednesday with Gold.